Hey guys, what's up? Fan here again, and today I'm bringing you guys another video commentary slash guide, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a really interesting build that was recently surfaced. And it's basically a build that centers around the Globe of Annihilation skill for Azmodan. And basically what you do is you infinitely scale using the Globe of Annihilation, uh, and you combine that with your black pull to just constantly infinitely scale the damage of it. You can think of it kind of similar to, seasoned marksman stacks or region master stacks, or any of those other things that just infinitely scale with time. The main difference between this build and those things is that this actually scales way faster than any of the skills I mentioned previously, which makes it a really deadly threat, especially on some maps that go very late into the game. So level 1, obviously, you're going to get Taste for Blood. Enemies killed by Globe of Annihilation will permanently increase its damage by 2. Note that it says impact damage. So impact damage is not the burning damage. You're actually going to get Infernal Globe, which gives you burning damage on your Q, but you still have to kill it in the first impact in order for you to gain additional stacks from Taste for Blood. As far as the build goes, I don't actually know exactly who started this build or who thought of it, but shoutouts to Soldier from Team Tempo Storm for being the first person to really use it in a tournament setting and win games with it. And also shout out to Faye from Team Evil Geniuses, because I know she was playing this exact build like weeks before on the ladder, pretty much non-stop. Alright, so here I'm going to start summoning my minions, and really the one thing that I've noticed about getting stacks early game is that obviously you want to try for stacks whenever you can, but it's kind of like a waste of time for you to try and get all the creeps perfectly low. Basically anytime I can get like 2 creeps, I'll do it instantly. I think 2 creeps per Globe of Annihilation is a pretty good stacking already. Even if I can get 1, sometimes I'll just do 1. And it looks like it's an Azmodan versus Azmodan team here, which is kind of interesting. We're just gonna keep pushing each other in and out, I guess. I'm gonna check if he went my build as well, and no, he didn't. So he went Sieging Wrath, which is the other build, or the other Q talent, I should say. Alright, so the shrines have now come up, and the Azmodan has left his lane. I'm actually just gonna be soaking this lane non-stop, because I want as many stacks as possible, and if he's going to give me a free lane, it's going to be very easy for me to get more stacks. I actually missed a couple stacks there again, unfortunately. But once again, as long as you just use Globe of Annihilation every time it's off cooldown in the early game, even if you just get like 1 stack per globe, that's still good enough, because you're really going to be ramping up a ton once you hit level 10, because Black Pool will allow you to just obliterate entire minion waves at once, if you can do it properly. This guy's poking me a lot, which is kind of annoying. I'm trying to weaken the caster minion there so I can, get both of the minions in one thing, which I just did. And I'm just going to keep stacking here. Remember to use your General of Hell every time it's off cooldown, of course. Just the common Azmodan tip, really. And yeah, just going to continue stacking here. I'm really not focused on what's going on in the other lanes because I'm just trying to get stacks right now. But it looks like my team is, slightly in the lead in regards to kills and shrine control, which is good. Oops, missed with that Globe of Annihilation, but no big deal. I think I'm doing fairly well in terms of stacking, so I'm not that worried about it. Okay, I'm gonna keep sending out those little things there. And this guy's actually, oh, it's Don Lu. He's actually one of my friends. It's interesting that I met him trying to go for this trolley build, but it's all good. Alright, so I'm just gonna, keep getting my stacks here. I'm gonna let him push into me here because I don't have enough HP to contest him. Level 4, you get Burn the Weak. Burn the Weak is good because it makes your E stronger against, well, it makes it stronger against basically everything, but in particular, you get 50% additional damage to structures instead of like 25 if you don't get this, I think. And it also works against mercenaries, so it's actually really good against golems and stuff like that. Alright, so I'm gonna try and get one more stack here. Didn't quite manage to do it, but I'm gonna start, you know, hitting the Rainer with it as well, just because he's trying to bully me out of lane here, and I'm pretty sure I can, you know, do reasonably well at least. Just gonna keep trading. He just turned on steering attacks, so I gotta get out. Ooh, and that was pretty good trade by him. So for this build, you definitely don't want to die early game like I just did, because, you know, when you're dead, that's like 2 or 3 globes of annihilations that you're not throwing out, and as a direct result, you're going to be missing stacks, right? So the proper play there was to just back up. But still, it's not the end of the world. You know, we're still fairly even, and I'm just going to go back bottom and start stacking again. I'm actually gonna go mid because there's like 3 people bottom, and the less enemies in your lane, the easier it is to stack, right? So I'm just gonna go mid there. Got two with that Q, which I'm pretty happy about. And I'm actually just gonna hold the minions here. No, minions, stop. And, you know, just get the stacks there as soon as my Q is off cooldown again. So here my entire team is fighting for the shrine, which means I pretty much have to go help them. This is a bad idea because they're level 10 and we're not. But I think you know, we're almost level 10, so it might not be the worst thing in the world. I'm actually gonna try and get that creep. Oh, I just couldn't do it. Whoever gets this creep actually gets a lot of experience. I think my team might have gotten it. I think that's how we managed to get to level 10, but I'm not sure. And here I finally have Blackpool. So as soon as you have Blackpool, what you're going to do is you're going to instantly start to, you know, use Blackpool and then use Q on a minion wave. When you first get it at level 10, it actually does not clear the minions, so you have to like hit the ranged minions like once each in order to kill them. So just keep that in mind. And you know, just looking at this here, I'm gonna dunk him to get him away from my 4, which has 1 HP left. And I actually haven't used General of Hell in a while, which is a pretty big mistake as well. Should definitely keep an eye on this cooldown and use it every 30 seconds. Alright, so once again, I'm gonna hit every range creep once, and then just dunk the wave, and that's basically what you're gonna be doing for you know, the majority of the mid game, because this is where your stacks really start to snowball. You can see I already got 62 bonus damage, which is, you know, it's not bad, it's not amazing, it's okay. I'm trying to like reach the range creeps in the back there, because this is going to be a really big stack if I can just get all of these creeps. So I'm gonna hit the caster minions in the middle once each as well, and I'm just gonna dunk all of it. And that was a pretty big stack for me, which is nice. Alright. Moving on, so they're actually doing the boss here. Let me trying to go in and see how far it is, but there's too many of them, so it's kind of risky for me. I'm not gonna face check it without my team there. Looks like they did manage to get it, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Okay. I'm just gonna push out mid here. And our Chen actually went barrel roll, which is kind of interesting. Oh boy, Zebo is also channeling his ult, so I'm just gonna back off here. I'm gonna hit each of those creeps once, and I'm gonna summon some minions here to try and deal with this huge push that they have going on. Oh my god, and the tornado is pushing me back so much. This is not good. Tornado, please stop pushing me. And it looks like I'm pretty much dead here due to that tornado. That was quite unfortunate. But on the bright side, our Gazlo and Zeratul has been wreaking havoc on their base as well, so it looks like we're just gonna trade forts. I wonder if they can end the game with this. I highly doubt it, because it's like an 8-minute boss, and the core is still really strong at this point, so you know, in the end we traded forts. It's actually not bad for us at all. Experience-wise, we're a little bit behind, but it's not the end of the world. It kind of sucks that I died again, but you know, this is actually a pretty big or bad map for this build, just because this map has a serious timer on it due to the temples, and what you really want are like maps that will last for a long time in game time. So like maps like Dragonshire or or stuff like that, right? Because those are the maps where you're going to be able to get as many stacks as possible. Okay, he's going to nuke the wave, so I'm just going to black pool and then nuke it right after. Continue getting my stacks. What I'm going to be looking for here is I'm going to get to 200 bonus damage as fast as I can. I'm only like halfway there at the moment, which is not, not good. I'm going to use my E. E actually does a ton of damage to heroes if they let you channel it as well. And I'm just going to start tossing the dunk and whatnot there. We actually got a very, very sick combo. I'm going to continue summoning my general there and pushing top. I'm going to dunk this guy, try and get the trade. Didn't quite manage to do it. Oh, I actually just had blood for blood. I probably could have killed him if I skilled that, but oh well. So pretty big trade there. That was overall in their advantage, but in the end it's still not that big of a deal. This guy, he went a very similar build to mine, but he went for the pushing instead, so he's not stacking. So the longer this game goes, the better it will be for me, and the worse it will be for him. Another funny thing is, when you lose keeps, it's actually kind of good for this build because the minions just automatically push to your base, right? And when the minions are this close, it's really, really easy to farm these safely. Whereas, if my minions are pushed over here, if I want to farm this wave, I'm going to be standing like, somewhere in the middle of the map, and it's kind of dangerous to do that. You're going to get ganked a lot. So, alright. So I'm just gonna go bottom here. I want at least one more wave of farm before I join my teammates up there in the fight. So again, I'm gonna hit each one once, dunk the wave, and then leave because I see my teammates fighting here. I'm gonna call for the retreat because it looks like they're losing pretty badly. But yeah, not much we can do there. Just gonna dunk the mid wave here. And try and stop their push any way I can. Okay, gonna summon my stuff here. I think at this point I can pretty much one-shot all the ranged minions. I have like over 100, damage, so I'm just gonna start dunking them. And I'm at 134 bonus damage right now. Once again, I'm looking for around 200 before I start seriously, dunking in team fights, because that's when it really starts to matter there. So I'm gonna continue stacking for a little bit at least. I'm gonna tell my team to go 5 people mid because at this point we need 5 people on one trying to really contest them. Have the best chance of contesting them at least. And I'm gonna ride up here, blood for blood the stitches, and just march along with him and kill him. I'm gonna run away from that guy's laser, and then walk up to him and then start channeling my laser. And I'm just gonna dunk him at this point, and you can see it did a ton of damage to not only him but his allies as well. So at this point, the build is kind of coming into effect. It's not fully in effect yet, but it's definitely not bad. I'm gonna dunk both of those guys, or just one, and you can see how much damage it's doing to like the squishier targets on the other team. And it only gets better. The longer you stack with this build, the better it becomes, and it stacks infinitely. So the longer the game goes, the stronger you are. Period. Basically. Continue dunking. Try and dunk whenever you're off cooldown, of course. And I'm gonna join my teammates here at the boss. This tornado is pushing me, and I'm actually going to have to stop that channeling because it pushed me into range of the stun. But it looks like we're going to be able to get this boss without too much of a problem, which is really good for us. Alright, so continue dunking the waves and adding even more damage. You can see I'm doing 919 damage to those waves now with 192 bonus damage. And at this point I'm almost at that 200 mark, which is the mark where this build really starts to hurt and where I can start tossing the black pool globe of annihilation at enemy heroes, and it's gonna start hurting them a lot in team fights. I'm gonna farm that wave there. And I'm gonna summon a monster there. They want to capture that mercenary camp, which is fine by me. but I'm just going to continue farming, because at this point, every 10 or 20 seconds, you know, every time black pulls up, I want to be annihilating a wave in order to stack as fast as possible. Make a quick mana break at the base there, and continue running around. So right now, you know, it's kind of sucks because I have to go all the way across the map because there's no creeps near my base. But it's you know, it's not the end of the world there. Continue farming. You can see I'm almost at 1,000 damage per globe there, which is good. And it looks like we're gonna need to start fighting here soon. So I'm gonna set up with my team here. I'm gonna use blood for blood on the stitches there and run out. And I'm just gonna dunk. My dunk killed both of the banshees, but the Chen barrel actually knocked out the rest of the heroes, which kind of sucks, to be honest, for me at least. Okay, I'm gonna dunk just this general area again, and you can see how much damage that Rainer took. Unfortunately, he still had his life thing, which means they probably, you know, they're gonna be able to get this this temple. There's no way I can contest this, really. Rainer's trying to kill me here, but he doesn't have enough damage, at least not right now. I'm gonna back off a little bit, kill this creep. I'm basically just waiting for the next creep wave right now. I still want to be stacking, so. Okay, so the next creep wave is finally here. I'm gonna put down the black pool, dunk this guy. You can see it did over 1,000 damage to him, and then I'm just gonna make him back off there. I'm not even gonna chase him. And when my dunk is back up, I'm gonna dunk these range creeps as well. I just barely didn't have enough damage to kill them without black pool, which is kind of unfortunate. Alright. So, stacking, continuously stacking, of course, and at this point, we're kind of in a risky position because we're down 2 keeps. I'm looking at my teammate's position there, and it's kind of precarious, unfortunately. Not too much I can do about it at this point in time. I'm gonna dunk at the center of this, and you can see how much damage it did. We just team wiped them with a dunk plus Gazlo combo, which I find fairly amusing. And obviously, you know, I'm not the greatest at this build. I've been playing it for maybe 10 or 8 games total now, so still not the best at it, but I have a pretty good grasp of it, so I'm just trying to show you as best as I can, at least. Trying to stop the push up here. And at this point, like, everyone's dead, so I'm just gonna keep farming for the fight that's inevitably going to happen. Looks like it's going to happen in 20 seconds, right? Because these two are enough to pretty much kill this and that, so we're going to have to control at least one of them. And I'm just going to tell my team to go 5 mid again, because we need at least one of those shrines, of course. I also need to be defending like these huge waves that are coming in here, so I'm just going to black pool those things, summon my minion, and start running mid, because we need to contest it desperately. Alright, so I'm gonna blood for blood this guy. Alright, so now they're all coming, so I have to run away. I'm gonna dunk them, and you can see how much damage it did to all of them. That guy's almost dead at this point. But I have to wait for my cooldowns now, and I'm not so sure we're gonna be able to get them off both of these temples, which is what will be necessary for us to win the game, basically. It's unfortunate, but not a whole lot I can do. I'm just gonna blindly dunk there. Did 1230 damage to that Rainer, as you can see. And since Rainer is the only one here right now, I'm just going to try my best to get him off the shrine there by kiting. But honestly, not a whole lot I can do at this point. And you can see once again 1230 damage, and I ended up killing the Rainer there. But of course, they did end up having that top shrine. So, not a whole lot to do, but I hope you guys understand the gist of this build. It's a really fun build, and if I wasn't on Sky Temple there, you know, if they didn't have a way of killing our core, you can imagine that you can just one-shot creep waves pushing in, so it makes pushing into your keeps very, very difficult. And that combined with the fact that you're just constantly getting stronger and stronger in the late game makes the build very formidable in maps that are like, you know, tend to go longer. So Dragonshire, Garden of Terror, Cursed Hollow, you know, this build is really, really strong on those maps, and just wanted to show you guys because it was a very cool and interesting build idea. It actually works really well, and, you know, dunking people on Azmodan is really, really fun. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's pretty much it for today. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want, you know, the latest and greatest updates with all the cool builds and whatnot. And other than that, if you have a comment, feel free to leave it below. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time.